Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn three things about microinteractions. First, what are microinteractions and why it is important? Second, how quickly and easily we can create microinteractions using Figma. And third, most important, like what are the key things that we need to keep in mind while creating it to avoid common mistakes. So without wasting time, let's just jump into the screen and get started.
So now what are micro interactions? So as you can see on my screen, if I talk in simple language, so like whenever user interact with any UI element into design, so the kind of response he gets from that UI element as a symbol of okay, the response to his action, that is a basically micro interactions. And in modern UI, it is really important for a visual designer to have a knowledge of micro interactions, what are the key things of micro interactions, and how you can create some cool micro interactions. So yeah, let's just jump into my screen and create some cool, fun micro interactions. The first what I'm going to take is I'm going to take an ellipse. Quickly, I'm going to create an ellipse. Let's just give its height and width to 24 pixels. Let's just give it a stroke. I think yeah, 2 is looking fine. So let's just keep it at 2. I'm just going to remove the fill. Okay, and color. So like as we are creating a loader, so we need a sharp edge that keeps rotating. So for that we can use angular filling. So as you can see now we have a sharp edge followed by a that is slightly getting darker. So let me just give it a little bit cool color. Yeah, I think this looks fine. And the second edge we'll keep it white so that we can see the clear animation. So yeah, as we have our first loader, so let's just create an component out of it. Okay, cool. So quickly, just to make it transition, we have to create different variants of it. So yeah, let me just create another variant. So now, how this thing is going to work, like we are going to create the four stages out of loader. That is one at this angle, another one is 90-degree, another one is 180-degree, and another one is 270-degree. And then after that, we are going to use the smart animate in Figma that will animate the loader. So yeah, so in the next transition state we need is a 90-degree of it. Yeah, this position. As you can see there, so it will animate from this to this position. So I'm going to create another variant. Okay, so what this variant will be? It will be of 180-degree. Like from 90, it will be to 180-degree. As you can see, this to this to this. Like we are rotating anti-clockwise. And yeah, one more thing, keep in mind that while giving an angle, we are not giving angle to the variant. Like most people do mistake, they give directly angle to the variant. That causes issue. So we have to give angle to the ellipse, not the variant. This thing keep in mind. Okay. So let's just create another variant, and not the variant. We'll select the ellipse and then give rotation to it. Let me give 270-degree. Cool. So yeah, I think now we have all the four states of the loader. So yeah, we're going into the prototype and smart animate from the first state to the second. So here you choose after delay, and now yeah, so an animation a smart animate. So what saw that people faces confusion is like as you can see like there are two timers. One is this for smart animate and one is for after delay. So most people get confused ki, okay, what are these the difference between these two timers. So after delay is basically when the animation gets complete in smart animate, then how much time delay will be there, that is after delay. So as loader we want that as soon as it completes the first animation, the second animation should start. Like there should not be any delay. So for that we do not need any delay. We just want ki as soon as the first animation gets complete, another start and followed by another one. So we'll just give it 1 milliseconds, and I think yeah, for an animation 300 milliseconds is fine. S- Similarly, we are going to create this, and yeah, I'm going to show you both versions. Like if we give higher delay, then what happens, so that you can also so that it gets clear in your mind ki why we have given 1 millisecond delay. So okay, 1 milliseconds we are giving, and yeah, 3 milliseconds is fine after delay and smart animate. And yeah, we are using a linear motion so that it should be should be no breaks between them. So yeah, now we are going to connect third to one. Similarly, after delay, we'll have a linear motion 300. to 1 milliseconds. And lastly, we are going to connect first one to the top one, that is also to after delay 1 milliseconds and linear motion. Yeah, I think it looks fine to me. So let's just test it out. So I'm quickly going to create a frame, and let me just copy the first variant and paste it. Okay, let me just center align it, and yeah, let's play it out. So yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. So if I, okay, zoom in a bit. So now as you can see, the smooth motion that we are having without any delay. So, okay, let me just show you like what I told you before. So suppose we have given it now, like in this, we have, let's give a, to get it better understanding, let me give a 2 second delay. So like 200 ms means 2 second delay. So now what will happen? So now as you can see that it has stopped. As you can see, key, okay, it gets stopped. Then it's a 2 second delay. Then again it starts. Again 2 second of delay, and then it starts and 2 second delay. So this thing we have to avoid. That's why we have used 1 milliseconds. Like without any delay, it should have a 300 millisecond of motion and again followed by that. So I hope it's clear now. As you can see now we have a smooth motion. So now next what we are going to create is, as I shown, we are going to create this installing. So yeah, let me just quickly take a text. Um, oh, it's too big. Let's just have it, I think at 24 would work. Okay, so yeah, let me just create a auto layout of it. Okay, now we have an auto layout, and let's create a component of it. Create component. And yeah, so one more thing that I need to tell, that one more mistake that people do is they just when we start creating the variants out of it. For example, let me create one variant of it. So in loading only, I add a dot, and in his next variant, I'm going to add two dot. So this is a bad practice. We have to avoid that. Like most people I've seen doing that, and they just animate it. So now what will be the loss of it? So from this to this, we are adding a dot. So when we will make it a smart animate and interaction micro interaction, we'll see that a flash will be there from this transition to this transition, because it is changing from this to this completely. So the loading text will also keep on flashing. So that is a bad experience. So how we can avoid that? Key, we can have a loading. We can also, let me just duplicate this. Let me just delete these two variants as of now. So okay, so now as we have an auto layout of it, so let me just create an auto layout of this loading. As you can see in component, we have one auto layout of the loading. Let me just give it 0 and 0 to avoid any wastage of space. Let's just make it quick bigger. And I'm just going to duplicate it, Control plus D. And here I will give a dot. So now as you can see, the loading component is different and this dot component is different. So now when we will we will do smart animate, then this loading will have no effect. Only the circle is going to be animated. So okay, let me just reduce the spacing between them. Yeah, I think 2 is looking fine. Let's just give it a slight gray color. Yeah, works fine to me. Cool. So yeah, now I think our component is ready. Now we are going to create a variants of it. Mm, mm, Yeah, so this is another variant. So here, like we will not touch loading, we'll just now instead of one dot, we will add two dots. Yeah, I'm going to create another variant. So instead of two, now we'll have three dots. Mm, Yeah, I think looks good to me. So yeah, now just we will smart animate it. We will go to prototype, connect this to the second one, and we want it similarly after delay. So here now we want a little delay. Okay, after one dot we need a okay for few milliseconds it's got a delay, then the second happens. So here we can give 200 milliseconds of delay and animate I guess 300 milliseconds would be fine, and linear will also work, and smart animate to like we are using it. Similarly we will add this to this because here we also need a little similar delay, so we'll have the 200 milliseconds of delay, and linear smart animate works fine to me. And again we will just add a last component to link to first component. Will after delay, I think we were using 200 ms, so we'll keep it consistent, and 300 ms looks fine to me. So okay, let's just test it out. So I'm just copying the first component and paste it here. I think yeah we can have it a little top and loading somewhere here. Okay, let's just give a smooth edge to it as well so that it should look good as well. Okay, so yeah, now I'm going to play this. Now you can see like the cool animation that we are having of both loader and the loading screen, and then you can see that loading is having no effect because of that. Okay, cool. So yeah, let me just show you the next animation. So yeah, we are in this video, we are going to create one more animation, that is add to cart. Rest all I will not do because then the video will be too long. I'll just provide the file link so that you can check it out after the video. So okay, let's just quickly get back on our page and start creating it. So what I'm first gonna do is I'm first gonna take an icon. And the Iconify is a really cool plugin that you can also use for basic icons and stuff. So like we have to do add to cart, so I'm just going to search cart. Okay, so yeah, I think this looks fine. Okay, so now yeah, as you can see, let me just give an icon size to 24. So yeah, so first we are going to create an initial stage. So what will be the initial stage? In initial stage, there will be only icon, no tick icon, only icon of add to cart button. So first let me just also add text, and we can hide that in this version. Mm, Add to cart. Let me just resize it to 20. I think it looks fine. Yeah, I'm just going to auto. I think 16 will look good. Yeah, I think it's looking much better. So okay, let me just give it a slight gray color. So now one more thing. Let me just first create a component out of it. Yeah, so as I was saying, ki, do not directly, what most people do mistake is like in first variant they only have icon, and in second variant they add to it cart text. So that can cause a problem because auto animate, sorry, the smart animate only works for the elements that are consistent in all the variants. So we can hide this text in this version, but it is necessary to put this text in the first version as well, because then only it is going to be animated. So keep that in mind while you are creating variants for smart animate and for micro interactions. So for now, like we'll just hide this. Like hiding is completely fine, but you have to keep the same, you have to keep all the elements of the UI consistently in all the variants. So okay, now as we have the component, I'm just going to give it a little bit of space both up and down. Let's just give it a background. I think yeah, white is looking pretty good. And yeah, I think I'm going to give a round corner. Yeah. So I hope yeah it's visible. So this is our first variant. Now let's create another variant of it. So yeah, I'm just going to duplicate that, stretch a bit, and now we also need that add to cart. So we will add to cart button, and I think I'm just going to do a little bit more size reduce. Yeah, I think now it's look fine, and a more space from left to right margin. Yeah, now I think it's looking pretty good. So yeah, and I'm going to give a cool green color to it because like it's adding to cart. Yeah, and to background as well, we can give a neutral color of green. Mm, Let me just select this and something regarding this. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's looking really good. And let me add another variant of it. So this is like in initial states. This will be like during the micro interaction when the user has interacted with the component. This will be the final state. So in final state, we can have okay only the symbol with green color. I guess that will work fine. So instead of green, sorry, let me just give it a color. And yeah, what is the background color? Let me just copy it here directly and paste it here. Yeah, I think it's look. And yeah, one mistake that we did, if you find out, in tick this can only be in when the product is added to cart. So we also have to hide this from first state as well. Yeah, now I think it's looking pretty good. So let me just animate that. So okay, we'll go to prototype and similar way we will do an interaction. So we need an interaction on click because when user is going to add to cart, click on add to cart, then the animation will going to start. And property will be variation, it's good. And we'll do smart animate. We'll have now ease in and ease out. So for animation, I think we should give a little bit more so that it should have a cool animation. And from here to here, it will be not on click, it will be on delay because only the user will click on first variant, then this animation, then automatically it will get back to the final state. So we need an after delay, and here we are going to give a little bit of delay because we need user to have a little bit look over the animation. And yeah, easy and yeah, returning back we can have it a little quick. So I think 200 ms may work good. And yeah, do not make it again link to first because we do not want that. We want that okay, it's add to cart. So what we can do is when user click on this, then it can be get back to the original state, and that we can have on instant basis. It doesn't require any animation or something. Cool. So yeah, let's just test it out. I'm just going to delete as of now. I'm going to create another frame. Okay, let me just duplicate the first one. Remove the inside stuff. Copying the add to cart button. And yeah, I'm just going to paste it here. Let me just make it a center align. And yeah, like as we are using white background, so I'm going to give a slightly darker background so we can see the white color. Yeah, I think it looks good. So yeah, let's now just play it and test it if it's working fine or not. Let me just zoom it a bit. Fill screen, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to click on this. So yes, as you can see the animation. Mm, yeah, I think it's looking really good. And what I'm facing, yeah, I think the returning back is very quick. We can have it a little delay. So let me just make it a little slow. From this to this, it's going really fast. So we can have it, I think 400 will work. Yeah, I think this will work good. So if we see it again, yeah, now it's perfect. As you can see, the cool animation that we are having.
This is the end of the video. I hope I was able to teach you guys some new insights about micro interactions. And yeah, this is my first video on YouTube. So if you guys want me to create more videos, more insightful videos like this on various other topics, so don't forget to just like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And also write in the comments like what would you like to have in my next video, and I will definitely try to create some videos regarding that. Thank you so much.